Hi, y'all. My name is Will. I go by Will on a Whim on YouTube and TikTok. I teach hair care to foster kids and for really anybody who has natural hair. And I try to do it in a way that's fun, funny, and carefree, a little whimsical.
And you've already built like a really big online following, right?
Yeah, I think around 100,000 followers on Instagram and around 450,000 folks over on YouTube. What's good, everybody? My name is Will, and welcome back to a very special episode. So today I'm going to be showing you all my scalp care routine.
We know it's just shampoo, Will. Pack it up.
And today you're here because you need some design help.
Oh my gosh. This is like my biggest pain point. There's a time where I have to just say, listen, things aren't as tight as I want them to be, and I am hoping that you all can help me.
So what's the design problem that you need help with specifically?
Yeah, my website, it's not doing the thing that I needed to do.
What is that?
Sell stuff. Like I have merch and I've had it for maybe around a year. I launched this website around 6 months ago and it's not doing that great. There's not much traffic, one, but also when people get to the site, it's not really converting.
Selling stuff. For a small business, it's kind of the point. But Will's website isn't moving his products, and that has a lot to do with its design. So, how can he design a site that draws in his audience and inspires them to buy? Welcome to a new season of Wireframe. I'm Coy Vin, Senior Director of Design at Adobe. And this time around, we explore how design helps small business owners and entrepreneurs succeed. In every episode, we meet someone struggling to create content and branding for their small business. Someone like Will. We pair them with a mentor, someone with a successful online brand who can offer advice to boost their content. And then a professional designer dips in and shares practical design tips to conquer their design challenge and take their business to the next level. So let's get to it. This is Wireframe, designed for small business, a limited series from Adobe Express, a new app that you can use to quickly and easily make standout content from thousands of templates. Will, this is all tied to your personal story, right?
Right. I grew up in foster care up until around age 13, hopping from home to home. And the one thing that stuck with me was hair care. Like no foster parent of mine was able to take care of my hair. I wanted braids, I wanted cornrows, I wanted curly afro, but I would always get the buzz cut. And so after I did grow my hair out in college, it opened up like a whole world for me. And then I realized, okay, I'm learning a lot about myself from my hair. My confidence is growing, all these things. And I want to give that same gift, that same opportunity back to pretty much myself, symbolically back to the foster kids.
That's so awesome. So tell me about your merch. Why is it important to you to sell this merchandise?
So the merch I'm selling, I have t-shirts, I have sweatshirts. They say things like split ends are like fake friends, cut them off. That's kind of a saying we have across all of my social media platforms, and we love it. All of the proceeds go to purchasing hair care kits for foster kids so that they can get a little bit of hair care and a way to kind of explore their identity during the most important years of their lives.
So let's get back to your website. Why do you think it might not be converting?
Well, I think that people get to the website and it's a different experience from what they get when they're on my YouTube channel or when they're on my Instagram or even TikTok. Things are fun and whimsical and cheery and adventurous. And then when they get to the website, it's like, what is this? What is he trying to sell us? I don't feel necessarily like my experience is being continued on this website.
What is it about the design of the site?
Well, one, there's no story in the design. It's not fun. Hair care is fun for me. Like when you watch one of my YouTube videos, we're having fun doing our hair because it oftentimes can be stressful. And the website right now is bland, in my opinion. It's just bland. It's just falling flat.
Yeah, I'm looking at your site now and I think you're spot on. I think the website, it's functional, but there's no story. Like,
be honest. You can be honest.
No, you're right. Like your personality, like your energy, your enthusiasm for what you do, your face, They're all missing, right?
Oh my God, you're so right. I think there's one graphic where I just chopped my head off.
Yes, yeah, like literally, yeah. And that's a big part of your other content, your face, your voice, your vibe, and it's kind of been neutralized on your website. You're such a colorful person. The videos that you post online, they're colorful. The listeners can't see right now, but I'm looking at you on video right now, and your background is super colorful. Why doesn't that show up on your website?
Well, first of all, thank you. But also, I don't know, when I was building the website, I felt like I was creating a completely different thing. It was new territory for me because on social media, there's structure already for you. Like, it's just plug and chug, you put your content on there. But with a website, when you're building from scratch, it is a completely different beast.
Is it intimidating? Are you excited? Like, what are you feeling?
Oh my gosh. So I consider myself to be a kind of a creative person. But when it comes time to do the technical work, it's like, okay, how do I do it in a way that feels structured rather than me just kind of like playing around with colors and seeing what sticks?
Well, I'd say you're not kind of a creative person. You're for sure a creative person. But, we're not all great at everything. That's exactly what we're here to help you with. So let's get into it.
Cool.
Will's website really isn't reflecting his story, his mission, or even himself. So he needs to find ways to bring those elements to the site and to help his community engage and buy. And luckily, I found someone who can help.
Hi, Will. How's it going?
Hi, Courtney.
A mentor who, I think, will really inspire Will to create a more vibrant vision for his website.
I'm excited to hear all of your advice today.
Good.
I need a ton of help.
I truthfully don't know if you need as much help as you think you do because I looked at all your stuff and I think it's amazing.
Thank you.
Courtney Quinn of Color Me Courtney is a successful content creator with a lively aesthetic focused on, you guessed it, color.
I love your website. It's so colorful. It's so energetic. And I feel good when I go onto the website. There's kind of like a candy store. And you offer things in such a way that's so organized and easy for me to kind of navigate. And I think color has a lot to do with that.
Thank you for the kind words about my website. I appreciate it.
No, I'm pretty obsessed and I'm interested. What brought you to color?
Yeah, so I did kind of start out as like a color me baby. I was very much into color, and also through my mom being an interior designer, we had a lot of color in our home. I learned how expressive and exciting color could be. But then I think, as all people do, I went through that, like, I want to look like the people on TV stage. And for me growing up, the people on TV weren't wearing a lot of color. The Black girls had straight hair and they didn't look like me. So there was a lot of me hiding some of the things that I think made me more me. And the second I started letting go of that and just doing what I wanted, that's when I found other people who were like me. So if you're approaching creating as authentically yourself, you will create better and form more of a community.
That's dope. And it's cool to see that your presence is loud. It's like it precedes you, right? I don't know about you, but I know that my hair kind of precedes me when I go into a room. It has its own personality. Color has its own personality.
For sure.
And you're reminded that you have to kind of step up and meet the color where it is, meet the big, loud hair with the personality where it is.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, my biggest issue right now, I think, is what colors do I choose to inject some energy into my website?
Yeah.
And the experience of people who go onto my website.
So when we're talking about website and like color choices or color theory, like I always like to think about the emotion behind a color. So that's why I use warmer tones like oranges and yellow, because I think they're really happy, positive colors. And that's another thing that's kind of like key to my core. So I would say if you're struggling to figure out what color, maybe you can start with keywords. For me personally, things that are empowering people to be confident, empowering people to have positivity. And so the confidence color would be red. The positivity colors would be those warm tones like yellows and oranges. And then I also want to be approachable and unapologetic and kind of like effervescent. And I think a color for that is kind of a peachy or like a blush tone pink. So that's kind of where those ones started for me. But if you wanted to shout out some words, we can start with those words and I can kind of help guide you there.
Yeah, I want visitors to my website, I want them to be excited. You know, synesthesia, the concept of synesthesia, where you can like feel color or like taste sound.
Yeah.
With color, I feel like I can like taste it. And so the words that I use are like fruity or like,
Yeah.
I want people to have kind of a tasty experience when they come to my website.
Yeah. You can tell me if you don't like this, but I kind of like wild berry or wild fruit for you because it kind of gives this like vibe of like cool and approachability with you.
Okay.
Blues, purples,
Ooh.
hot pinks. I think those could kind of be really cool for you, having some of those aquas in there, kind of sticking to like the bold, but like the cooler side of colors might be really interesting for you.
This is perfect. I feel like you just hit the nail on the head. It's tropical flavors of like the Skittles versus like the regular Skittle pack.
Exactly. Yeah. The purple packet of the Skittles. Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to be colorful, but I want it to be a little bit more elevated and like you said, cool.
Whatever colors you decide on for your website, I feel like you should also try to bring those into everything you do. You want to make sure that you're using that color maybe in your profile picture on Instagram or maybe in like your banner on YouTube, like trying to find a way so that when people see those colors, they think of you.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to tie all those things together. So I'm going to look at different fruits, which is not what I expected to be doing to like build my website out. But I'm going to look at different fruits and like check out the colors and maybe come up with a color palette.
Then maybe when you have like 2 or 3 like groups of 3 colors that you like, send them to some friends and be like, which one of these looks like me? No context. Which one of these gives you the Will on the Whim vibe?
Right. I also want to know, like, because I have a fun experience on your website, but I also want to purchase stuff from you. Like, I want to buy stuff from you. So I'm wondering if you've been intentional about using color to get people to purchase things.
So I think there's certain colors that you can use to excite people, certain colors that you can use to kind of say like, go, go. And that color would be green. So using green towards like a purchase thing can work. And it doesn't have to be like lime green. Like your green might be teal.
Yeah.
That's fine. Your red might be hot pink. That's fine.
Did you just immediately get into making the website and like know all this, or was it like trial and error?
Yeah, so I guess I'm a little bit more of a dinosaur in the creator world because like I started my first website, I don't know, 10 years ago, a really long time ago. And so I feel strongly that it's the only piece of real estate that I will ever own on the internet. If a social media app went down tomorrow, I could not do anything about it. So the only place that I would be able to continue to create, to continue to have a relationship is on my website. So I really focus on making my website the place where all my content lives. It's a lot harder to get someone to come to your website, to get someone to subscribe to your email. But I think it's important, and I think it's the only place that you can control it.
I've been creatively stuck for a while because I feel like I have no guardrails when it comes to creating or designing something. It feels like I'm creating a website, but I'm like starting from scratch. That's what I think really has been holding me back. But I do have guardrails. I'm realizing like I do have some sense of who I am and what I'm doing here. So thank you so much. This is exactly the help that I needed. And now it's time to get to work.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited to see where you're going next.
Well, that was a terrific conversation.
Oh my gosh. I love Color Me Courtney. I felt like I was going to see like a woman with a crystal ball who was like going to tell me what I need in terms of color.
What do you think about this as being more actually the home for Will on a Whim on the web?
Yeah, I realized that it doesn't have to just be about buying stuff on the website. And I think it's actually might be even helpful to the merch sales to have more content on the website, right?
You were already talking about how the website as it stands today is missing your story, right?
Yep.
And that's a really good way of thinking about tackling this next phase for the website.
Yeah.
Color is such an important part of designing a killer website, but it's certainly not the only thing to think about, which is why I'm pulling in one more perspective to help Will on his design journey.
I am hearing a lot of very common challenges, people who do...
Enter Brandon Groce, a designer who excels at creating websites that build communities and make sales.
And then when it comes to something that they think is a total different form, a website, they're like, I don't know how to go about this, and I don't really know how to bring me over there.
Yeah. Sounds very much like when people sit down with like a blank canvas.
Yeah,
It's like all the possibilities are in front of you, and so you don't know which way to go, right?
exactly.
So how about this challenge of designing for sales and really trying to goose the revenue that he's generating from that website?
A quote that stands out to me is from Simon Sinek, who says, people don't buy what you do, people buy why you do it. And so I think when we're doing these things, it's a horse in a cart sort of situation. Well, Will has the cart, but it's not getting to anybody. It has no horse. We need to find it. We need to design that baby.
Yeah.
We need to get his wondiferous personality on there and let everybody know, like, you are buying Will and helping support his mission. And oh, by the way, you can help do that by purchasing his merch. So, for example, with Color Me Courtney, her website shows not just her merch, but who she is, what she's about.
Yeah.
Can you help us understand like how she's directing the flow on this page here?
The first thing she opens up her site with is things with her face. She's in her clothes, she's in the color. She has who she is at the top as the first section in her hero section. It's very much what her content is like. That's the first thing that you see in her site. It's like, boom, yes, this is the Courtney I know. And the next thing that we dive into is like all the stuff that she writes about, the fashion, the powder room, the adventure, the style. So the 3 sections that you want to have, Will, it's the here's me, here's my mission, here's what we're doing here. And by the way, we have some cool merch. Buy that junk.
I think the idea here is to help everybody who comes to the site, regardless of their prior knowledge of you, help them get immersed in your story and your mission immediately.
Right. And just thinking about how I can make the website like the entree of the experience of Will on a Whim on the internet in general, and have kind of my social media platforms be the sides, if you will. And, you know, really giving it a bit more thought rather than it just being like a shop with like a sweatshirt and a t-shirt that you can buy.
So I know that was just like the flow, but I think something that would be super easy for you, you have these, I don't know who edits your videos, but it's fire.
Thanks. It's me. I'm doing the work.
Man, I was like, the amount, you must just have a stash of memes and a soundboard.
Oh my gosh. Hard drives. Yeah.
And I was thinking, you know, the first part of your section, you're amazing at video. You know, have a video about who you are, what you do, and about your mission. Like 2-minute video. And you dive into your mission and you just tell everybody what is happening on your website.
That's really such a huge asset that you've already got. And it sort of feels like you've been fighting this battle to build this website with one hand tied behind your back.
Right. It's like a flashlight. Like I was truly like Velma on the floor looking for my glasses, like trying to figure out how to do this. And now it's like I have something that makes sense. I never thought of, I could put a video on this website. And that's something I am not intimidated by. Like I can edit and it's fun and it's easy for me. And so it makes me excited to put content on the website. I'm grateful.
Good. I'm glad I could help.
Okay, so I think we've got a pretty good idea of what needs to happen here. Like I can almost visualize this website in a way based on all the great advice that we've gotten from Courtney and from Brandon. Does that all come together for you in your head when you think about it now?
Yes, for sure. So I have the guardrails now. I have the flow. I have the color palette in my mind. And I already have the story.
We want to come back and check on you in about a week. So I'm not sure if you're going to get the whole website done, but what concrete steps do you think you'll take over the course of the next week?
So I definitely want to get started on video content for the website. That's like the tastiest thing for me right now. And thinking about how I can pull the color palette in different sectors of my brand into that video, creating kind of like a hero section. And 2, I want to think about the flow. So when people get to the website, boom, they know exactly what's going down, who I am, and what they can expect on the website. And now it's time to do the whole hermit sabbatical thing and just get to town and go. I'm going to like book a trip to San Diego or something and sit on the beach and like design a website.
Yeah, if only we could all be designing websites on the beach in San Diego.
Yeah.
Will is going to take some time to weave these ideas together to build a better website that supports his mission. In the meantime, let's go over some of the advice that we heard today. 1, a website is really the only piece of real estate that you can truly own online. So make sure yours is consistent with your other platforms and use it to showcase your brand, not just your products. 2, think consciously about your color selections. What do you want visitors to your website to feel? Use those qualities as a guide to creating your color palette and bake that into all of your design choices. And 3, think about flow. What's the first thing that you want a viewer to see when they arrive at your site? What's the second? Remember, people don't buy what you're selling, they buy why you're selling it. So use design to show them the way and tell your story. I checked in on Will's progress about a week after we met. He had already started getting his video content ready for his website.
Hey y'all, my name is Will. Welcome to my website. This is gonna be your one-stop shop for food, hair, travel, shenanigans. So take a look around, have some fun, and I'll catch up with y'all later.
And he sent me an update to let me know how his website journey was going.
I'm back from San Diego. I literally went to San Diego to work on the website, just as I joked about. The website now is so much more colorful. I'm obsessed with it. It's all the wild berry colors, the dark huey purples, there's even some reds, and things are popping. The buttons that say buy now are so much cuter. I have some like neon green in there that offers a great contrast and helps pull your attention. I added a little bit of story. There's a whole section of the website now that's talking about the hair care kits that are going to be purchased with the proceeds of the merch. The website now, it feels so much more cohesive, and it gives people that adventure that I think I was looking for at the beginning.
Nobody finishes a website in a week, but Will is definitely getting somewhere. There's still some work to be done, but you can tell that he's thinking through his design challenge much differently now, and it's so much fun to see his personality start to come through. There's a link in the show notes, and you'll see what I mean. I'm Coy Vin, and this is Wireframe, designed for small business, a limited series from Adobe Express, a web and mobile app that you can use to make great content from thousands of templates. Head over to adobe.com/express and give it a try. Next time on Wireframe. Looking at your feeds, there's not a lot of the educational stuff that you say that you really want to post. What's going on?
That was the question I was trying to avoid. I have over 100 things in my draft folder.
A real estate agent learns to use social media to educate home buyers. That's next time.